Hello folks, it's Richard Moore, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association, and on YouTube, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. You can also join our group on Quora, US Anti-Gang Stalking. Today, I want to try to articulate some of the things that are going on now in this community, if you will. When I speak of community, I'm talking of a global community of victims of targeting. I was speaking with an individual earlier this morning, and I'm not the only person that is of this opinion, that you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. There is no middle ground when it comes to abject civil and constitutional violations and crimes against humanity, especially American citizens funded by taxpayer dollars. It's that simple. I've posted today a post that I received that was published in the Tampa, Florida newspaper. And I believe it's Pasco County Sheriff's Department being sued in federal court for First and Fourth and 14th Amendment civil rights violations against American citizens. So I encourage everyone to check that link out, and you can also follow the link to the actual to the lawsuit and so forth. You'll notice that how the sheriff of that county has this smug grin on his face, and his he and his trophy wife are enjoying this country club lifestyle while participating in these crimes that we've been talking about. I think we've been talking about them far too long. So eventually, you got to put your money where your mouth is. And that's exactly what we're doing. And we're not the only people doing this. Personally, I have been victimized by our justice system. Now, I've mentioned that time and time again. And when I say justice system, we'll start with local law enforcement, police chiefs, sheriff's department, so forth. This is, I've named the names of these individuals that are responsible for perpetrating these crimes. Now, once you make it public about these criminals, whether it be the sheriff, a local judge, an attorney, whoever it is, and you put the crime with a name and you start documenting that, you'll be surprised what'll happen. I'll tell you what'll happen. You'll end up like me, be relentlessly pursued by law enforcement, bogus arrest, false charges. This is an abuse of power to the 100th degree. This is what they do. This is not how due process works. This is not what their job is. This is not what our tax dollars are for. One of the hierarchies with the Mississippi National Guard was approached about this program, the very program I'm talking about, this community policing program that is its backbone is Mississippi National Guard. I'm talking about in Mississippi. This will transcend, by the way, to each state. There's no difference. It is their logistics and information is provided mainly through the Department of Homeland Security Fusion Centers. So we have the Fusion Centers, which, by the way, is not a federal agency. You just call them or look at their website. I've done that. I've actually called them, and by the time they get through explaining to you that they have a state fusion center, they got a federal fusion center. I mean, Department of Homeland Security. And back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's worse than any kind of mental Rubik's Cube you'll ever try to work. It's designed for that very purpose. This program is designed to involve so many people. The Department of Homeland Security is owned by state employees and private entities. Everybody gets their hands dirty. You see, the more people that get mud on their shoes, the less likely they'll be to be a whistleblower, a real whistleblower, unlike the fake whistleblowers that are touted with targeted justice. So let's clear that up. They give the true whistleblowers a bad name. All right. So there's a difference. There's a difference between Ella, whatever her name is, and Edward Snowden. Okay. So I mean, come on, folks. If you can't pick up what I'm putting down, then hell, you can't pick up anything. So they want to mitigate that by spreading the, cutting the pie up and letting everybody get a piece of the action. So it's all about the money. All the way down to the frontline crash dummies that perpetrate these crimes. Union County, Mississippi, I've reported numerous, and I mean numerous, breaking and enterings and stalking occurrences while they scratched their heads and pretended like I was a nut job. Well, we know what the deal is now. So the cat's out of the bag. And now I have evidence that will puts the Sheriff's Department on my property. It also puts stalkers on my property. It also puts electronic interference and tampering with my surveillance system, all at the same time, okay? All at the same time. Now, so we got a problem. They've got a problem. And they will go to whatever means necessary to muzzle this message. That's not going to happen. One of the hierarchies of the Mississippi National Guard was approached with this program, like I was saying earlier. And he absolutely, after understanding and comprehending what the program was about, he found it morally and criminally reprehensible and wanted nothing to do with it. Now, folks, let me tell you, everybody is not in on it, but there's plenty that are in on it, okay? Not everybody in law enforcement are rooting and shouting hoorah for these criminal stalkers. As much as they would like for you to believe, that is not the case. So let me tell you, folks, things will change, and change is coming. I've made it real clear. The names of the operatives in Itawamba County, Monroe County, Chickasaw County, Lowndes County, Lee County, and Union County, Mississippi. From their citizen community-based agents, their CBAs, that, by the way, are also Mississippi National Guardsmen. Is that a coincidence? No. Do they have access to an unlimited cache of technology and equipment to surveil and to violate another human being? Absolutely. Where do they hone their skills? Do you think they jump on a plane and go to Pakistan or something? No. They don't go anywhere. They stay right at home. They stay right at home. And American citizens are in the proverbial petri dish of this experiment gone bad. If you read that article that I posted, they are presenting evidence where these agencies that I've just mentioned, and it does include federal agents and federal employees, that are cooperating with the school system, cooperating with them, thanks to the teachers union, and giving them detailed information on students. And so for predictive policing, to predict a person that is going to ultimately end up to be a criminal, they end up getting targeted. So they turn over the students that are making D's and F's. That's right. And those children are targeted. A lot of people say, I feel like I've been targeted since I was born. You're not far from being off on that assertion, okay? Now, when we look at all of the unexplained, not only are those people targeted, those people that are drag, now I want you to hear this good, folks, there are drag on the budget. You know who the drag is? Veterans. 150 suicides. I don't know if that's annually or what that is, but it's an alarming rate. Okay? Folks, this is not, we didn't have this problem in any of the other wars, and any of the other, but now we're having this problem. And since mental health has thrown its hat in with this deal, everybody gets a piece of the pie. It's I don't know what they're explaining, what the explanation is. But yes, they're feeding on their own veterans. People that have gone and fought and have pledged and taken an oath to defend this country and its Constitution are turned on by their fellow enlistees like rabid dogs. That's a fact. That's a fact. You even have veterans that participate in the stalking program. Not just active military, but veterans that do that. Folks, it absolutely is cannibalism, and it's evil, obviously. And not only that, what I'm saying is documented facts, okay? Now, when I started making these National Guards, federal agents, employees, sheriff and police departments, justice court judges, private entities and private citizens, when I started going public with these people and giving the unmitigated facts about what this community policing is, make no mistake about it. I have suffered repercussions from every single angle one can imagine. Let me reiterate, I'm not letting up. Matter of fact, if anything, I'm going to double down on the deal, and I'm going to keep doubling down. Okay? So let's. I just want to. You hear a lot of people with some of these other groups and some of these organizations, these fake TI groups. I don't know how many people. There are leaders of groups and organizations that are relentlessly getting thrown in jail. This old boy here is. Okay? So there's the difference. We can talk all day long about mind reading and brainwashing and being probed by aliens, or we can talk about the shit that we can prove, and I've got it and I've posted it, okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. Let the other stuff, they want to keep it all convoluted and have these meaningful, long, drawn-out, brainwashing conversations, and folks, that and 50 cents won't even get you a cup of coffee. So I don't have much tolerance for that. It comes a time when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired and being gamed. And I want to say this to the stalkers. Let me tell you, you think for some reason that what you're doing is okay. You think for some reason that what you're doing is not against the law and criminal. You think what you're doing, you will not be held criminally culpable. You see, the law enforcement, including the National Guard, are preying and using losers, dope addicts, making sure that they've got plenty of dope, making sure they get their fix, making sure they get plenty of Walmart gift cards. Walmart plays its part in there. And while they carry out these crash dummy crimes against inconsensual American citizens. I mean, where in the hell they're doing it right here, okay? That's where they're doing it. I'm not talking about North Korea. I'm not talking about Red China. I'm not talking about Soviet Russia. I'm talking about the United States of America. Well, the last time I checked, we still have a constitution. Last time I checked, we still have civil rights. And let me tell you what, folks, I don't ever remember anything saying that. Well, guess what? You don't have any of those things because we're doing this clandestinely. We're doing this as a preemptive urging to dissuade crime in the community. Some kind of mumbo jumbo shit that I'm telling you, I don't believe the federal judicial system is going to be amused, and if I'm not going to be amused at what I have to present, and I'm going to present it. Okay, and so making it known about the perpetrators involved in these crimes. During this time, I'm getting charged for stalking and all this stuff by those people for the very crimes of stalking and so forth. Folks, any door into a courtroom, whether they're holding the door or I'm holding the door, is a good door, okay? I don't really believe they want to have a real conversation because, folks, the next courtroom I walk into, we're going to have a real conversation come hell or high water, okay? That's called due process. And by God, we're going to have due process, and we'll see. We'll test it. We'll see if that Constitution is as weak and panty-waisted as the ones that are violating it. I don't believe that it is. Now, I'm going to tell you what. We can talk about the bogus arrest, the sting operations, the bogus setups that were foiled that went south, Guntown, Mississippi, Lee County, Tupelo, Mississippi. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You see, you get tired of it blowing up in your face, don't you? You know what? I get tired. I got tired a long time ago. After I realized that these perverted peeping toms, they said, well, we're not really peeping in windows, you know. Well, let me tell you what, sweetheart. Whether you're peeping in windows or you're making someone think you're peeping in a window, which one makes you more of a creep and a pervert? I don't see any difference in it. It's the same thing. So we'll go back. I didn't know that perverted, voyeuristic peeping Tom creeping was okay in Mississippi, but apparently it is. And apparently it's okay across the nation, or it's not. But I can guarantee you, I've got tens upon thousands of people that say, by God, it's going on. There's no such thing as mass psychosis. There's no such thing as people presenting the same evidence nationwide and globally of the same shit that's going on. That's impossible. So you can save that for one of your crash dummies that you've got driving around here in a Kia looking stupid, doing a color harassment or noise campaign, all to distract the target, the victim, while law enforcement and operatives with the Mississippi National Guard or Alabama National Guard or Tennessee, Florida, Texas, California, whatever state you're in, place equipment near your home and in your home to circumvent your security systems, to use direct energy weapons, so forth and so on, tampering with your vehicle. Folks, let me tell you, the sky, in their opinion, is the limit. But honey, I got news for you. They don't have the sky, and they don't have those kind of limits. I'm here to tell you their credit line with society and its palatability is running low. It's running low. Because I'm going to tell you, folks, when the shit hits the fan, I promise you, the first shit that hits the fan is going to be these frontline crash dummies that you see on a daily basis. And then, I'm going to tell you, folks, when you got a whole army of moronic losers, snitches, and rats out there that you're paying with dope and gift cards and think they're going to hold their mud under questioning, you have bumped your head if you think that's going to happen. They will have to tase them to shut them up and keep them from running their mouth. You know it, and I know it. And that's what we're plugging for. That's called subpoena. And let me tell you what, folks. You're going to have a hell of a time challenging what's coming. As I speak with other individuals that are going to be proactive in this, as well as myself, I've posted this, and let me reiterate, we're going to piecemeal it. We're going to piecemeal it. What I mean by piecemeal, I'll throw it all in one lump. One sheriff at a time, one deputy at a time, one county at a time, one police officer at a time. That's right. One judge at a time. We're going to piecemeal it. We are going to piecemeal it. And I will promise you, you're not going to come in and say, well, this is a matter of national security. Well, I'm going to tell you this. These false arrests, when you throw people in jail and it's abuse of color and abuse of power, folks, let me tell you, they're not covered by qualified immunity. It's criminal mischief. It's criminal behavior. It's reckless criminal behavior. It's not okay. And I'm telling you, for the victims out there, you keep documenting. Don't continue. People are too quick to get online or someone they think's their friends and say, well, I've got this, I've got that. Well, that don't prove anything. I challenge you, quit trying to get your evidence vetted by a perp, because that's what it is. That's perp stuff, okay? That's perp stuff. It's all that is. All it is. You must know that. Before I even knew there was a name for this crazy deal, social media was already wrapped up by the perps, the perp groups, the perp propaganda, so forth and so on. Okay? So we got everything under the sun going on. And people talking about these petition drives, and we're going to march on Washington and all this stuff. I don't know, folks. So what's really going on? Because I hadn't seen a damn thing happen. I hadn't seen anything happen. It all sounds good. So either way, it's going to be window dressing, or it's going to be real victims standing up. Get a backbone instead of a wishbone. Do you think that Dr. King did not anticipate? He said, I may not make it with you to the promised land. Do you think he didn't anticipate being arrested? You think that he did not know that his life was in imminent danger? Folks, there's not a person alive that has ever fought for a just cause against corruption that have not suffered the consequences of that exposure. Now, I mean, that is simple as that. You get a chance, look at the documentary, The Two Murders of Sam Cooke. Many say, well, I don't know who Sam Cooke is. Well, find out. He, like Elvis Presley, was born in Mississippi, but refused to play once he became a headliner, refused to play in a segregated audience. Memphis, Tennessee, and it made the papers. They had to get Sam Cooke out of the way. His murder and the way they reported it, I don't buy a bit of it, neither do his closest of friends and people that know him the best. They murdered not only the man, but they murdered his legacy. It was after this 20-something-year-old Sam Cooke was murdered that his song, Change Is Gonna Come. It's been covered by everybody that's anybody. And folks, I still believe that. That change that Sam Cooke sang about is going to come. You can rest assured it's going to come. It requires those that are called, those victims that are called, that know that they have more of a purpose in life other than to sit around and say, oh my God, I've lost my family, I've lost my finances and all that. When you get through having your pity party, I suggest that you straighten up, square your shoulders, and say, by God, enough is enough, and start doing something about it. And folks, let me tell you, until you do that, be about it, not talk about it. Until you do that, we're just prolonging something that could be a little quicker. So change is coming. Change is already upon us. You can believe that. as I continue to name these people, not only name these people, but I've documented the crimes and the individuals. And folks, it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Even those that on the front line that are doing that continue to harass and follow and stalk and intimidate individuals and violate their civil and constitutional rights, because they don't enjoy that inalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They're being denied that, okay? They're being denied that by somebody that's trying to get a $25 or $50 gift card. They're trying to get a sack of damn dope. I'm for real. And that is provided to them, the hospice of law enforcement, the people that they want you to call when those crimes are committed against you. It's the fox guard and the hen house. It's the perfect crime, isn't it? Why? You know what? It may be. We'll see what the federal judicial system has to say about this perfect crime. So I emphasize piecemeal in this thing. We're going, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, okay? One bite at a time. And that's how this elephant is going down. And I'm telling you, folks, the elephant is going down. If they didn't get the promise of these little gifts and this acceptance, folks, it wouldn't be possible. If these fake churches and fake Christians weren't organized in mass to better their communities, and somehow they've justified this, and it's not hard for a fake Christian and a fake church to justify evil, okay? Because they don't serve the God I serve, okay? That's simple. So, many have said, well, you don't actually believe this, you don't actually believe that. And I said, well, I believe everything. The Bible says it. I believe it. And that settles it. And I'll just have to ask these individuals when I get to heaven about it. Well, what if they're not in heaven? I said, well, then, brother, you can ask them. That's my reply. There's only two places. There's only two ways. And like I started this video, I said, folks, you're either for this or you're against it. There is no middle ground. There is no middle ground. The time of being silent and saying, well, I just don't understand it and get it. Well, you know what? I think you should educate yourself. You know better than to jump in a bathtub with a plugged-in toaster in your hand, don't you, or a hairdryer. I mean, obviously some people don't. They got labels on there. Don't use a hairdryer in the bathtub. I mean, that obviously people have tried to do that. They've had to put a label on it. So we do have a percentage of idiots. I don't know what the numbers are, but maybe you can go to Targeted Justice. Maybe they can help you with those numbers. They're good with all these facts and stuff. And but I wouldn't take any of it, as being real. But at any rate, you know better than to do that. And so we have gradually allowed this to take place in society. Evil has been amongst us since the beginning of time, has it not? Well, why in the world would anybody think for 1 minute that somehow it's just not real anymore? It's not there anymore. I mean, you are sadly mistaken, boys and girls. You're sadly mistaken. How many? And this is going to get me in the hot water here because, boy, I tell you, this is one of the reasons they target you if you mention this, but I'm not going to not mention it. How many unborn children are murdered every year in this country? We'll just talk about this country. Okay? So unborn children's lives don't matter, do they? Folks, if that doesn't piss you off, nothing will. They don't have a voice, do they? Yeah, they've got a voice. The Great Commission is, go ye therefore into all nations, preaching and teaching in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, baptizing them, and preaching and teaching in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. That's the Great Commission. That wasn't for some, that's for everybody. That's for everybody. Okay? Everybody. Not just those who choose to believe it. Okay? You can either go along with it or not. You're not going to have to answer to me. Trust me. I'm not the one you're going to have to answer to. Now, we took prayer out of schools. These same schools that are offering up children's that are making poor grades, and they're being targeted by our government, by our taxpayer dollars. And it's carried out by that sheriff, that chief of police, emergency management services, Homeland Security, National Guard. There's your infrastructure, friends. There's your infrastructure. I just gave it to you. Okay? Some people like to believe it's artificial intelligence somewhere in space that's doing all this. Folks, look, I'm not going to get on that today. I'm not going to get on that. I always have these perks with these idiot, moronic statements that put on. Well, do you think this is part of Pokemon? And I don't ever get the luxury of having a person like that in my face because their definition of Pokemon and my definition of Pokemon are two different things. Okay, I don't think they like mine, but anyway, I don't believe it's a game. And I don't think it's funny. I'm not amused. And going back to these fake churches and these fake Christian rehabs, like the ones I've published this stuff. Go on my YouTube channel, on Facebook, on Quora. You can see the stuff. It's there. And when I talk about these things, folks, let me tell you, I'm not just pulling this out thin air. These are fact. This is any person wants to sue me for libel or any other avenue they think they can come and get me in court about what I have said about them, I'm backing up in spades. So this is not jibber jabber. It's the real deal. They'll continue. Arrest and wear you down, throw you in jail, make bond, just absolutely try to demoralize you and do all these things. Folks, I've been there, done that, got a t-shirt and went to the house, okay? If that's the best they got, they better ramp it up, okay? If that's the best they got, they better ramp it up. A long, long time ago, when they decided to target this old boy and my family and do what they've done to me, and there's not many people that can get on here and mention this, that happened, this happened, that happened, that has not happened to me in spades. When they decided to do all that, and when they violated me and my family, there was no turning back. Let me make you understand this. There is no turning back. That line was crossed a long time ago. And so I not only speak for myself, but I speak for hundreds and thousands and millions of people across this planet that have been subjected to these same crimes by this same program. Everything that starts in America, but you know what? This is a throwback from the old Stasi program, the FBI, the COINTEL program, and now they've got this Citizens Corps program with the Department of Homeland Security, the COPS program, ran by the FBI's InfraGard. They've got all of that stuff. And they got it on lock. It's never changed. It's all evil has always been with us. It's an old whore in a new dress. That's all. Now, these fake churches, you wonder, when you're in the communities, I've been where I live for 6 years. You know how many people that came by and invited me to church? Zero. Now, I can't tell you how many that have violated my property, broke in and stole and tampered with my car and done all this other, participated in all these lies and smear tactics and that continue as I speak, things going. That's countless. But all those fake churches, hadn't heard a word. And I put them on blast out there. You see? That's not popular. It's not popular to tell the truth. When you call a spade, when you speak out and say, look, a lot of people participate in this. When I say private entities, I'm talking about, that's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about nonprofits, 501c corporations. I'm talking about fraternal organizations like the Masons and the Eastern Star, on and on and on. Now, let me give you a sleeper. I've given this to a few people. I don't think I've been public on it, but we're doing it today, aren't we? Let me tell you the demographic of the backbone. Now, I've given you their infrastructure. But who's the driving force? I'm going to tell you who it is. The driving force, maybe, not all, this is not for everybody, but for stalking in the United States of America are white women. Now, I'm not anti-women, not anti-white women. It's white women. They have taken a leadership role in this predatory practices of crimes against humanity. They've done this. They've done this from the local churches. Now, here's where they're hidden, and here's how they get their agenda, and how they get recruits, and how they get people to buy in to this criminal scheme. You'll find them and Save the Children. You see, I believe that the child trafficking is a major problem in this country. Now, by me taking that stand, I don't think I'm going to find anybody that says, no, I don't think that's a big deal, or that doesn't bother me. Nobody's going to say that. So they're under that umbrella of Save the Children. Well, how do we save the children? Well, the dingbat says, so they slowly get indoctrinated, not knowing that the people they're talking to are the very people that are involved in trafficking the children, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, murder for hire, etc., etc. That's fact, boys and girls. Facts. Well, this is how we do it. And then they gradually ease them in and say, we got people in the community we're keeping an eye on. And so, oh, really? Yeah. And then they give them the dossier on how evil and bad they are. And then they screw with them, and then they see them cut up in public. It's not hard to see me cut up in public. See how crazy he's a maniac. Yeah, I want to get him. Save the children. Folks, let me tell you, that's what I'm telling you is the real deal, okay? This is how they're making it palatable for the fools out there to follow along. And listen, trials will come. Just like the Nuremberg trials. The first round was for the generals. The second round was for the people. I was just following orders. I did a post on that as well. Oh, they still hung those people too, okay? I was told it was okay. I was told it wasn't against the law. Folks, you're criminally culpable. Ignorance of the law is no excuse to break the damn law. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. There's so many laws on the book, you can't go out there and just say, well, yeah, I didn't know. I mean, everybody doesn't know robbing banks are illegal. I mean, there's a percentage of people that thinks it's okay. And so, therefore, we should excuse that. How's that working out? It doesn't work out like that. It does not work out, and it's not going to work out like that. It doesn't matter how much notes and lies you've documented in order to bilk millions and billions of dollars, of taxpayer dollars, to keep this program going. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, you see. And all of this is about the money. And honey, let me tell you, if the money stops, you're going to see a lot of people stop, because they're only doing it for that. They're only doing it for that. They could give a tinker's damn about anything else. They know. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is criminal, and they're hoping to God and Jesus that they don't know that it doesn't ever surface, and it's surfacing. I'm not the only one that's bringing it up. We all know that. So I want to encourage the victims and the people that are watching. I can't. I put my glasses on. Y'all know that I can't. And you're right, Elizabeth. It is satanic, occult behavior. I see that part there. And, and Freemasons. I had contacted the FBI Major Crimes Hotline, Organized Crimes Hotline, maybe 40 or 50 times. 40 or 50 times. And so they would pare it back. Is this about these satanic cults and child human trafficking, blah, 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 being condescending and trying to patronize? And I really lost my cool on the last conversation I had with them. It comes a time when you really, this little game of pretending that you're not involved, pretending that the victim is some type of suffering from some type of psychosis and all that. You know what? That gets old. That gets old. So this gaslighting, wrong dummy, okay? I'm just saying wrong dummy, and it's the wrong dummy. And every time the wind blows in the direction I don't think it should blow, I'll promise you I'm going to give the criminals credit for it. Okay? Because they're fighting and they're committing these crimes with their children in the car. Let's say the children, they got the children in the car and they're out there playing games with grown folks. They don't give a damn about saving nobody else's child. They don't give a damn about their own children. But thank God for Child Protective Services. We've got hundreds of thousands of children. They don't know what the hell happened to them every year. We don't know. We'll never have that conversation. We might talk about wearing 3 masks, a ball gag, and a shield, and stay 12 foot away from people, this other stuff, but let's not talk about some real shit, okay? God forbid we talk about some real shit. So that's what I'm doing. And so they tried to make, they repeating that back to me. Well, folks, let me tell you, they're organizing churches, so that's where they get to, we're the real Christians. Let me tell you what, folks, God doesn't, that's not what the Bible says. God does not work in deceit, backstabbing, lies, propaganda, hoodwinking, tomfoolery, violation of civil and constitutional. God does not operate in that realm. And furthermore, God will never endorse or condone any one of his to come against one of his own. Period. Period. End of discussion. So let me tell you what, friends. That fake Christian, that fake church, that fake Christian, that rehab, and these churches, their Masons are going. I remember if I think of the name of that. Anyway, one of those Baptist churches I've put on blast, and these Masons that go there, and shaking hands at the door makes me want to. I'm talking just absolutely invokes nothing but projectile vomit when you think about it. At the hypocrisy at its highest state, there is no way. Let me repeat: there is no way you can be a Mason or any of these fraternal organizations. All saying, where they ride around in clown cars or anything else. Folks, it's all the same deal. Okay. I got to keep it real. They're going to bust hell wide open. Misery loves company. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Okay? That's not part of the Great Commission. Go you therefore and torture and deceive and gossip and backbite and deprive your fellow man. Jesus gave one commandment: to love your neighbor as yourself. To love it. That was the greatest commandment. Okay? Everything that this organization and this program stands for is a direct contradiction to the scriptures. Not only that, we'll take that out of context. They said, well, the framers of the Constitution were Masons. So let me tell you what, folks. God spoke to Balaam through the mouth of a jackass. And that still does not kill the Constitution, nor does it give credibility to someone that if they had to go over again, they would have wrote the Constitution. The Constitution said that that believed all men were created equal, except they didn't put that the African American was only 1/5 of a human being, a man. Folks, we got the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865. We get the Civil Rights Bill to 1960. It took 100 years before a black person could eat in a restaurant with white people in the dirty South. Mainly Mississippi and Alabama, Louisiana. And folks, I tell you, I have grown up and cut my teeth in the dirty South. And I'm speaking on authority when I'm telling you what I'm telling you. We only got the Civil Rights Bill. We're not a good 50 years past the Civil Rights Bill. Do you think that those people that are full of hate and rage and superior elitism, you don't feel like that somehow they have conformed to the ways of society and departed from their wicked ways? No, they doubled down on it. How they done it? Well, they've been clever. As in the Mormon Church, they've changed that book more times than Liz Taylor Taney's husbands. And they used to teach that the black man was cursed. From back in Noah's day, Ham and Shem, the two, and it was cursed, and that there was no way they could make it. But that became really, so now they took that out of the deal, and they welcomed the African Americans into the Mormon cult. And but they still believe that in their heart of hearts, and they're polygamists, and the Jesus they talk about, the God they talk about, all that is not the Jesus God I'm talking about. Okay, I don't care how many Bibles they're holding. We're not talking about the same person. Okay, so this is how the deceit works. This is how the deceit works. It's just cults love this, and Department of Homeland Security and Guard know this. We will let these people do. We'll let these Satanists, we'll let these clairvoyant cults and everything else participate in this, because they're all some bullshit anyway. And so they won't have any problems getting on our bullshit with us. And they've all got their own little agendas and axes to grind. You know, people say, well, I've got witches there and casting spells and all that stuff. And folks, look here. You can send them all. I don't give a rat's ass. All right? You're not looking. Fear is not of God, and God is who I lean on, whether you like it or not. That is where my strength comes from. That's where my protection comes from. He's my provider. When criminal stalking made me unemployable, and they tried to force me into homelessness, isolated me, and had me at the end of my rope many times. Many times. But I'm going to tell you what, God saw it different. God sees it different right now for you. I want you to hear it. You're not. You do have a voice. You're not alone. Trust me, you do have a voice. You do matter. You're not alone. And when you get past this defeatism, this defeated attitude, because they want to keep you worn down. They want to deprive you from sleep. They want to alienate you. Good, alienate me. Because when they did that, God said, well, fine, maybe you got some time for me now. And honey, let me tell you, that was the best thing they could have ever done. I look back at some of those people that I associated with that are stalkers. And once you're in the program, a lot of stalkers turn victims, go to stalking. They're easy. You know, there's a lot of people that are easy. They have, listen, there's plenty of weak people out there. I just want it to stop. And so I have no tolerance for that kind of person. I'm not made, I don't have the makeup to ever participate in that. I'm not cut out like that. Okay, I can give two shits. There's no amount of money, there's no amount of anything that can take me away from my cause right now, and that's to expose these criminals to the highest level, and to rally the troops in every way possible, and doing my job on a daily basis, and that's documenting, and not I don't chase conspiracy theories and all this stuff, and people too often they try to confuse this with some type of a conspiracy or whatever. And conspiracy means when one or two people are talking about something or doing something. That's conspiracy, folks. That's really a low bar. Okay, it's not a bad word, but they've tried to even screw that up. But at any rate, the main thing is to document. And I want you to look at that article that I posted, the Tampa Bay newspaper, and see what you think about that. It's nothing new, except they're going to federal court, and they're talking about this program, not in general, the very things that they're doing. And that's what they're doing in North Mississippi, and that's what they're doing all across this country. And I travel all over this country. Many of you know that I do. And I get the ass clown parade from beginning to end. Like they're going to slow me down or stop what I'm doing. All it does is, I'm going to tell you, folks, I get on a 5 or 6 or a 10-day trip, let me tell you, I'm stronger than I was before I started. I've got more evidence than I had before I started. My resolve is strengthened. My determination is strengthened. So folks, we must move forward. I encourage you to share this video, and you can also to subscribe to my YouTube channel. United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. And I'm not trying to win over the haters. Haters are going to do what haters do. Haters are going to hate. Oh, and I give two shits about a hater. Yeah, there are a lot of people that just, they can't handle the truth. And folks, I can't give it to you but one way. And I'm going to give it to you the best way I can, but I'm guarantee you, I can't polish it up because there's nothing to polish. I'm not going to try to put this pig in a damn dress and put lipstick on the bitch and make it more easy for you to understand. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give it to you the way I'm getting it. I'm going to give it to you the way I'm proving it and documenting it. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I continue to encourage others to do that. So when you make these police reports and stuff, get copies of that. Now, don't expect them to, that's the fox guard in the hen house, honey. I'm telling you. But you got this documentation, okay? Now, with that documentation, friend, then we got something to work with. We got something to work with, okay? Dereliction of duty and them greenlighting and allowing crimes against yourself, okay? Just document that. This happened, whatever it is. So I'm scared they're going to lock me up in a nut house or put me in jail. Well, I can tell you, folks, this is not for the lily-livered, weak-kneed sisters out there. They want you to be afraid of that. Lock my ass up then, okay? I'm not going to get a life sentence for making a complaint or whatever. So it's time that you stand up to it and quit backing off, thinking, oh, I'm just, I'm scared of the repercussions. I'm scared of the repercussions if I don't say something and bring it to light. Because from the time I started this organization, we're approaching a year that I've been doing what I'm doing. I hadn't been doing it a year. I don't feel like it's been a lifetime, but it hadn't been a year. I've been on. I've posted things, but I made it official. It hasn't been a year, and I will promise you, folks, in that year's time, we could go for hours at the constant, relentless harassment that I have suffered at the hands of the Mississippi National Guard and law enforcement in the state of Mississippi and in other states as I travel. It's criminal behavior that absolutely is endorsed, okay? And I could care less what their intentions is or how they justify it, none of that. I could give the tinkers down because it ain't got nothing to do with due process. Baby, if I'm doing something wrong, lock my ass up, okay? That's the way that works. It's not, well, we don't want to lock them up. We just want to torture them, make them kill themselves or something like that. That's the end game for all victims is for them to die, self-implosion, or to take their own life. And they are getting a hand up on that. Many do. Many feel like they're at the end. That is the end game. That's what this group of people hope for the victim is ultimate destruction, to appear as self-destruction. And that's about the only place that me and the stalkers agree, because I want that for them as well. I want the same thing for them. We're in the same boat, honey. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all for all the stalkers to do the right thing today. It saved the taxpayers a lot of money, and you know what the right thing is to do. But knowing that you're deep-seated cowards, we just can't count on that, can we? So we're going to have to bring it through the system, the very system that you have denied for the victims. But it's that system that you think is bullshit and that is not, doesn't matter anymore, will be the very system that I'm going to make sure plenty of you will walk through those doors. You can rest assured. I don't care how many Kool-Aid and high-five Kool-Aid parties that you have and how many Kia giveaways and Walmart gift card parties you have or whatever the hell else you morons are doing. If these fake churches holding hands, hoping that you're not going to burn in hell, but you definitely have made that decision, smoking or non-smoking. You're in the smoking section. Believe that, if you don't believe anything. Now, I encourage y'all to reach out. I can't instantly reply to messages I get people, and people get mad. You don't realize how many the stuff that I get. So it's it takes time. It takes time to get back with you. So I encourage you to, there's a lot of informative stuff on my page. We also have a private group with the same name, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association, and we have a private group. And there's a few questions in there. You either agree or you don't agree. If you don't agree, that you're not going to be in the group, okay? Are there perps in the group? Well, sure, there's perps everywhere, okay? There's perps everywhere. And when they rear their heads, I knock them off, okay? I get them off there. It's that simple. I've got a simple process that I use for that. So, but be aware, there's no such thing as some type of vetting process where you can get a group of people that's perp free. I'm not trying to do that, folks. I'm not trying to do that. That's the reason that you got, this is an all-inclusive society now. It's an all-inclusive society. It was, used to, you had bars for straight people and gay bars. They're all gay bars now, okay? I mean, so it's, everybody's included. And so we're going to do that here. But when you start your perp propaganda, let me emphasize that. When you start your perp propaganda, all this data is being captured, okay? I don't know who's going to look bad on or who it's going to look good on, but I promise you, I've got a pretty good idea of where it's going. That's one way of many that I have documented what's going on by the reactions and the comments and the people that have tried to infiltrate my group and the things that they've said, and they'll go to other groups, people that I'm communicating with, and do the same thing. So, we can keep having this, well, they're hacking my phones, they're hacking my computers. Folks, look, well, are we past that yet? I mean, you can have a secure phone conversation from your telephone to the tower. But then once it leaves that tower, then you're in a whole mesh of infrastructure called metadata. And folks, this country, the DHS, they have DARPA, all the equipment and all the technology to get out there and reach out and get this metadata. You get a brand new phone, rip it out of the box, call somebody, they still get it. It's called voice recognition. Okay, folks, now can we move on with that conversation and quit worrying about, they're on that. Who does that implicate? Who does that make the creepy criminal pervert? Me or the son of a bitch doing it? Okay, so let's talk about the son of a bitches doing it. And I've named the son of a bitches on my page. If you want to see who the son of a bitches are, just go back, look at some of my videos and the names, and there's your son of a bitches, all right? It's not hard science, not hard math. It's insane son of a bitches. I'm going to put the papers, once they're filed, and it's coming soon. And, we have to, and it's going to be asserted in there about their abject attempt to obstruct justice, okay? Because that's all they're doing. They think that they're going to drive to a point where it's just not going to happen. Oh, God. Folks, let me tell you, you can rest assured it's going to happen. You just rest assured that if nothing happens, that's going to happen. You can bet your bottom line on that. That's going down. That's absolutely going down. So I'm tired of law enforcement running interference with criminals. I've got them on video coming on my property and running interference for criminals, whatever the hell they're doing to my property. I don't know about you, but I've got the footage. I've posted it. Okay, I've got a whole lot more. And they can say, well, that didn't prove anything. Okay, well, I get it. I don't know where you got your education at, but we'll see what that proves. I promise you, I've got too much of it. And so that's what documentation's called. So I want to encourage people, say, there's always a new day. There's a new day, is a new day. And honey, you can, just because you've had a peaceful day, because the morons got lazy and didn't want to stalk you or something, you don't feel like talking about this, or you don't feel like documenting. You know what? I don't have that luxury. They're lousy, lazy ass, weak kneed sisters. That's all they are. And some days they don't want to do shit, okay? And I have to get online and call them out. I see you there, Jake. You have to get online and call them out. Y'all need to get your asses up. Start color harassing, okay? Run a few drones over me. Do something. cat calls, something like that. Give me an opportunity to get some recreation, because I'm telling you what, if you think I'm sitting around saying, well, maybe it's blowing over, it's nothing going to blow over. Nothing's going to blow over. We're going to keep exposing them. We're going to keep exposing. So let me hear from you. I'd love to hear your story. I'm going to start doing, before long, I'm going to interview some people. I can't interview everybody. It may seem simple what I do, but let me tell you, folks, there's a lot of things that go on, that are going on behind the scenes. I communicate and document not just online, but with journalists and a broad spectrum of people get information on a regular basis from me as I receive it. So this is not the only venue, and I'm making sure, I'm making double sure that this story gets told, it doesn't go away. These facts are going to be facts, and they're not going to change. So let me hear from you. Keep your head up, document, square your shoulders, pull your pants up and tighten your damn belt, folks, and start fighting these people. And you fight them by exposing them, make it public, document, and you repeat the process. Don't get off point. Until next time, God bless you.